Hello everyone and welcome. In today's video, I'm going to show you step by step how to build a lead generation funnel. So this is the landing page that I'll be showing you how to create step by step. So here we have a title. We also have a space where your description can go. On the bottom here, we have the name and email address. So when someone enters their name and email address, they're then redirected to a thank you page. And over here, I've also added a video, but you can have your landing page without the video. It's pretty much very easy to replace. Now, this funnel is very, very important because it allows you to generate your leads so that later on down the line, you can sell them products, promotions, and so on. Or even if you don't want to sell any products, this is the list that you can communicate with and get a bit more personal with your audience. Now, this is something that I really regretted when I first built my blog. Let me just show you what this basic lead generation funnel has done for me. So over here on my subscribers, you can see I've generated close to 3,251, and this is an active list because as you can see, I have 27% open rate and an average of 4.9, pretty much 5% click-through rate on my email. So this funnel that I'm going to show you today is what I have today for my free WordPress course. If you're a beginner or if you have a business, this is key. So I'm going to show you step by step how to do this. The tools I'm going to use will all be listed in the video description below. And if you do buy any of these products using my affiliate links, I have some fantastic bonuses for you. So just click on any of those links and you will see all those bonuses. So let me show you the type of funnel that we'll be building today. This is a basic 2-page funnel, but it is very, very effective. For this to work, make sure that the thing that you're giving away for free is something of value. It needs to be something of value because no one's going to exchange their email for something that is not really good. Your email, they'll be unsubscribing. So you have to make sure that whatever you're giving away is something of value. And this also works in any industry. For example, let's say you are a fitness coach and you want to give something away for free. This could be maybe a workout schedule, or this could be maybe training videos or a dieting plan. So as you can see, these things are related to fitness. So this is what you want to do in your industry. All right, so this is the main landing page. And then when someone adds their name and email address here, they are then redirected onto the thank you page. And on this thank you page here, these are basic instructions of what to do next. So in this case, let's say they need to download a PDF or a mini course. This is where you could say, thank you for signing up for my free course or my free downloadable. Check your email for further instructions. So over here now, we can see that as soon as they enter their name and email address, they are then sent to Convertkit. So this is my email autoresponder service. So this can be, if you want to use say MailChimp, for example, you could use that. There's also Drip. There's also Aweber. So there's quite a lot of these in the industry, but I use Convertkit because I really like the simplicity, how it looks, and pretty much how it works. So over here now, when people are on your list, you can then add them to broadcasts, you can add them to automated emails, sequences, promotions that you may have in the future. So the most important thing here is to have all your leads in a email autoresponder. And as I mentioned, in this case, I'm using Convertkit. Now, for this to work effectively, you need to have a source of traffic. So over here, we have Facebook, YouTube, Google, we have Instagram, and also Pinterest and any other social media platforms that you may want to use as your source for traffic. Because if you create these landing pages without any traffic, obviously, it's not going to work. So you need a source of traffic. Now, let's build this in our WordPress website. Right. So the first thing I'm going to do here is to come over here to my website, to my WordPress dashboard. Let's create our 2 pages. So first of all, I'm going to come over here, click on add new. So my landing page, I'll just call this diet landing. But of course, you can call these landing pages whatever you want. So I'm going to click here on publish. Next, I'm going to create my other page, which is the thank you page. So if we come back here on our diagram, this is the landing page that we've just created. Now we need to create the thank you page. All right, so back over here, let's add a new page. Let's call this thank you. Click on publish. All right, so I'm just going to come over here to all pages and then just go to my dieting landing page. Click on edit. So what we're going to do here is we're going to design our page using Divi. So I'm going to click here on edit with Divi. All right, so for this, we're going to build from scratch. And we are going to have two columns here. So the first column is going to have some of our text and description text and also our opt-in form. So I'm going to start here by adding a text paragraph. So for now, I'm just going to leave some dummy text in here. And then later on, we're going to come back and change this text. I'm going to save that. And then over here, we're also going to add our email opt-in. So I'm going to search for my email opt-in form. Right, so it comes in with all these design background colors. So let's quickly go in and remove all of that because we want this as simple and basic as possible. So we're going to come over here to the background, remove the background, come over here to design. So over here on the fields, let's add a fields background color. So here I'm just going to put black for now, and then I'm going to go in and add some transparency. So over here on the right, I am going to add my video. So I'm going to search for my video module. But of course, you don't really have to have a video here. This could be a landing page which just purely has text only. But I just want to show you how, if you wanted to add a video, how this could also work. Right, so here we might as well add an overlay image. So I'm going to come over here, click this plus button, and let's add our overlay image here. So since this is to do with dieting, I'm just going to add an image that relates to that. Right, now this play button here, we can see this quite big. Let's go ahead and make some adjustments to this. All right, so over here, I'm going to click on play icon, custom size, make it smaller. We may even change the color to black so that we can see that this is a button to click. All right, great. So that's all I'm going to do for now. Next, I'm going to come over here to my section settings and add a background image. So I'm going to click here on background, click on this plus button here and add our background image. Now, if you want to know where I got my images from, I'm just going to click over here on this tab. This is from pexels.com. These are royalty-free images, so you can just go ahead and use these in your own project. All right, so back over here on our design, we just need to go in and make sure that it's easy to read and it's well designed. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to work on our opt-in form here. I'm just going to click on save. Then I'm going to go into my settings here. So first of all, I'm going to come over here to fields. So here we can choose which fields we want to show. So pretty much here, I don't need the last name, so I'm just going to get rid of that. So I need the first name and email. Now let's work on this button here because this button is not very clear. So let's go in and design it. So what I've done here is I've just clicked on this brush tool. So I'm going to click here on use custom styles for button. Now this is going to allow me to go in and customize this button. Right, so I'm going to click my color here for my border. In fact, let me keep it white. And then for the background color, I'm going to add this orange here. It's nice and bright, easy to read. Now for the border, I'm going to add the same color as well. Now let's go on to the text. So the text here, I would like to change that and use my own custom font. So I'm going to click here on default and use pop-ins. We're going to make it all caps. And we're going to change this and make it semi-bold. Now I may want to add an icon here, but to be honest, I think this is fine as it is because when I hover over here, we can see we have this arrow that shows. Right, so what we're going to do next, as you can see, this description text here is not very clear. It's not easy to read. So in fact, first of all, I'm just going to copy some lorem text here to use as my dummy text. So I'm going to save this for now. And then I'm going to come over here to my text module and add my dummy text in here, just like that. Next, I'm going to come over here to design text. And here is where we want to customize our text. I'm going to change this to pop-ins. And straight away, I need to change this color to white so that it's easier to read. I may also want to increase the size here to about 17 and add a bit of line height. All right, so this design here is coming along. It's looking great. I'm going to save this for now. Right, so as you can see here on this form, we have quite a lot of space here on the top. So we would like to get rid of that by coming over here to our module settings, design, and then I'm going to click on spacing. So on margin here, let's add a negative margin. So I'm going to start with minus 100. Right, that's a bit too much. So I'm just going to use this dial here to make sure I have the right spacing. So I think I'm happy with -72. That's looking great. I'm going to save now. So the next thing I'm going to do now is, you can see this background image here is a bit too bright, or in making things difficult to see here. So let's add a bit of an overlay. So I'm going to click here on my section settings, click on background, and then this time I'm going to add a background color. So the color that works here is black. So I'm going to add black, click on the image tab, scroll all the way down, and then on the image blend, we're going to set this to multiply. So at first, this turns all black, and sometimes it can be very confusing because it makes you think that we are unable to recover our image. But I'll show you quickly how we can recover it. So now I can go to my background tab here, click anywhere here, and then drag this slider down until we start to see this image in the background. So we want it just slightly exposed because we don't want this text to be quite difficult to read. All right, so that's looking great now. I can go ahead and save. The next thing I'm going to do here with my email opt-in is to just click on this gear icon and give these fields a border. So I'm going to click here on this brush tool, click on the fields, and then I'm going to scroll all the way down until I get the borders. And here I'm going to add 1 pixel for my border. And I can also change the color to white if I want to, but as you can see, this is a bit too much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some transparency to that. Drag this all the way down, and I think that looks really nice. Okay, so our landing page now is taking shape. I'm going to save this for now. The next thing I'm going to do is to add another row because we need to add a large title here. So I'm going to click on single column, and then over here I'm going to add a text module. So here is where our title is going to go. So I'm just going to say maybe discover how to lose weight without taking dieting pills. So this is just a heading that I just made up, but of course you can title your heading that applies to your field. Great. So what I'm going to do next is just highlight this. In fact, I need to be in visual mode. I'm going to highlight this and set this to heading 1. I'm going to save this and then drag this all the way to the top, just like that. Now I'm going to go back in and customize this text. So I'm going to click here on design, heading text. So right now I'm on the tab for heading 1. Now let's make our text nice and big. So I'm going to choose Poppins for my color here, for my font here. And then I'm going to make my text white. Next, I'm going to center it, make it nice and big, maybe like that. Okay. Maybe bring it down a bit, maybe 50. Right. So over here, let's add some line height. Because right now, as you can see, the text was way too close together, and that's not what we need. Right. So let's say you want to be a bit more fancy here and emphasize a few words here on your title. You can underline this word, make it italics, like that. So now we're emphasizing that without taking dieting pills is very important. All right, so now that we have this, we have a nice clear title here. We have a description here and an opt-in form. And then over here now we have this video. So let's save this. I'm just going to get rid of this padding here. And also here on the right. Right, so this is looking really, really nice. The next thing I'm going to do now is to just add some padding or even add a fixed height to this. So I'm going to click here on design, sizing. So max height. I can decide, what's the maximum height for this. So I think, 1,000 is okay. And then I'm going to save this. And then on the top here, I'm going to add a bit more padding here to about maybe 120. And the bottom here is fine. Okay, so this is our landing page. Save this. Now there's one more thing that we need to do here, and this is just to make sure that our email opt-in directs us to our thank you page as soon as someone enters their email address. So let me show you how to do that. So I'm just going to go back here to our website and go to the thank you page and just make sure that we're on the right page. Right, so it's /thank you. Okay, so this is our thank you page. It needs a bit of designing, so that's going to be our next stage. Right, so I'm just going to copy this link here and then come back over here. And then we're going to go into our module settings. Now over here, we see where it says success action. So this is where we want to come over here. So we have several options here. We can display a message or redirect to a custom URL. Now this is the option that we need. So I'm going to click on redirect to custom URL. I'm going to paste my thank you page. So as soon as my name and email here is entered and you click subscribe, it's going to take you to the thank you page. And on the thank you page, we're going to have further instructions. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead now and save this for now. Now, what I've noticed as well is the height is a bit too much here. So there's quite a bit scrolling. So I'm going to go back in here and reset that. So I'm going to click here on design, sizing. I'm just going to reset that to auto. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to do is to just save this, and then I'm going to add equal padding both to the top and the bottom. Right. So our landing page looks great. All right, so now it's time to work on our thank you page. So over here on our thank you page, again, we're going to click on Enable Visual Builder, build from scratch. So let's add a title here. So it's going to be a text module. Go ahead and add that. So I'm just going to say thank you here. Right, so I'm going to highlight all this text and make this a heading. So this is going to be heading text. Come over here to design, click on heading text. So here, let's change this to Poppins, okay? Because this is our font that we're using now. We're going to center this text and let's make it bold. Okay, nice and bold. Great, so now we have the thank you text over here. And the next thing we're going to do is to add the description text, which has the instructions. So again, this is going to be a text module. I'm going to select that. And then I'm going to come over here and just add some lorem text. Okay. I'm going to paste it over here. And we might as well have it centered as well. So I'm going to click here on text. We're going to center it. Change our font to Poppins. And as you can see, this paragraph is a bit too wide. But let me show you a quick way you can go in and fix that. So let's just increase our text a little bit here to about 17, add a bit of line height. And then over here, we're going to go to the sizing. So this is where you can adjust the width to about, let's say, 76% and center it. So now this is looking really good. I'm going to save that. Next, I'm going to add some padding here, maybe to about 180, both to the top and the bottom. So now we have the description text here, or the message that we need for the thank you page with instructions. So an example of the instruction that you could have on your thank you page is, thank you for downloading my product. Click here to go to the link to download the product, or you can just say, check your emails for further instructions. Great. So our thank you page is designed now. I'm just going to save this and publish it. So back over here on this page, what we need to do is to connect this with Convertkit, because this is very, very important. So the instructions to connect may differ, but pretty much these instructions can be given by your email autoresponder. So here, I'm just going to go to Convertkit. All right, so as you can see, these are my total subscribers, and as you can see, my list is actually growing. All right, so let's go in and add all the information that we need for our form to be connected with Convertkit. So over here, I'm just going to click on this gear icon, and then we're going to click on email account. So here, I'm going to choose on the drop-down Convertkit, and as you can see, this email opt-in connects with so many services here. There's quite a lot to choose from. So there's Aweber, ActiveCampaign, Emma, and so on. So as I mentioned, I use Convertkit. I'm going to select that. So here my list is not showing because I need to add my API keys here to make sure that everything is connected. So I'm just going to call this Mac. I'm going to add my API key and my API secret. So back over here to Convertkit, I'm just going to go to my account settings. So here is my API key, paste it in here. Now I need my API secret, paste it in here, click on submit. Right, so now I'm going to click on fetch lists. So if I click on this drop down now, you can see that I have all my lists now showing. So I can select my list, and then over here on the success action, I just want to make sure that it redirects to a thank you page. So this is looking great now. I'm going to save this. Save the page. Now, the moment of truth, I'm going to test this and see if this is going to work for us. All right, so I'm going to exit the Visual Builder now. So we're here on our landing page. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to just enter my name and email address. Okay, so I'm just going to say Mac, add my email address. Okay, so now if I hit subscribe, this should go to my thank you page and my email address should be added onto my email autoresponder. So I'm going to click here on subscribe. There we go. So now it's taking me to my thank you page, which is awesome. So now if I come to ConvertKit, we can see here malone00@gmail has been added. All right, so this is how you create a lead generation funnel. If you have any questions, please leave your questions in the comments box below. I'll be happy to answer them. So that's all I have for you in today's video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.